all your school rugby, all in one place. This is NextGenXV.
Alright guys, welcome to NextGen15, and in today's video we are going to be looking at which schools are most represented in this year's United Rugby Championship. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as bell notification, and as soon as new videos are released, you'll be the first to know. So let's get into the top 10. Starting off, we have a tie for 10th place, with our first school being Presentation Brothers from Ireland. It should be no surprise that the majority of alumni will be representing Munster in this year's URC. With 8 players on the list, it showcases that their regional power status is no fluke. Among those names are Irish internationals Rory and Now Scannell, as well as Simon Zebo. Tied with Presentation Brothers, we have Scottish powerhouse Merchiston Castle with 8 players on the list. One of the most famous rugby schools in Scotland, Merchiston Castle pack a punch this year with Tiziano Pasquale from Benetton, Magnus Bradbury, and of course highly talented scrum half Jamie Dobie amongst those represented. Expect to see a few more boys from the school enter the URC as the competition continues. Next up, we have our first South African school on the list, and it is Durban-based outfit GLENWOOD High School with 9 players. GLENWOOD have shown their class in recent years with an unbeaten 2018 team containing what many feel will be many future stars of the game, as well as world titles at Senex, showcasing the team's potential. Among those to keep an eye on during the tournament will be Jordan Hendricks at the Lions, as well as his brother Jaden at the Sharks, an incredible talent currently recovering from injury, and finally Nama Gaba from the Stormers. Staying in the Republic, and it is Pretoria-based powerhouse, the Afrikaans Hoërseun School, better known as Affies. With a total of 10 players on the list, our 7th place schools show why they are considered one of Northern South Africa's premier rugby factories. It should be no shock to anyone familiar with the school that the majority of their players are from the forwards department, with giants of the game such as Argees Snyman at Munster, Luan de Bruin at Edinburgh, and Ruben van Heerden at the Sharks amongst those to keep an eye out for. And in 5th place we have another tie, with the first school we feature no strangers to school rugby fans being PAARL from Stellenbosch with 10 players. Powering their way to 2019 World Championship at Senex and the leading producer of Springboks, it should shock no one that PAARL is amongst the most represented schools at the competition. Familiar names will include Steven Kitsoff, Damian Willemse and Herschel Jansies, all who currently are on tour with the Springboks. Tied with PAARL are a school who continue to churn out world-class talent year after year, and that school being Coleg Sirgar from Wales with 10 players. Regular national champions in Wales, Coleg Sirgar will no doubt be a massive feeder for the URC and the 4 Welsh franchises that take part in the competition. Players to keep an eye on include Kieran Hardy from the Scarlets, Josh Adams from Cardiff, and Adam Warren from the Dragons. Coming in at 4th, we have one of the most recognisable names in school rugby, and that is PAARL Boys with 12 players. PAARL Boys have long lived in the shadow of their rivals, but over the last decade have become a powerhouse in their own right, with 3 unofficial national titles on the trot in what was a golden era for the school. Some PAARL Boys players that you may have heard of include props Thomas Dutoy and Frans Malherbe, as well as lock Salman Murat. With the talent coming through in the area, expect a lot more to be added in the list in the URC's future. Moving into the top 3, we start off with Irish giant St. Michael's College, who have 16 players on the list. A recent powerhouse, the program has been one of the best in the world over the last decade, and the sheer number and quality of talent they've been producing shows that the coaching team have been certainly getting things right. Recent internationals you should be keeping a close eye on include hooker Ronan Kelleher and powerful locks Ryan Bird and James Ryan. St. Michael's are currently a school that will aim to be top of this list in the very near future, and you'd be a foolish man to bet against that. And in 1st place we have a tie, and it should be no surprise that it is 2 of the most famous names in world rugby. 2 schools who are an assembly line of talent and who we hope to see come up against each other in the near future. Starting off, we have the usual suspect Grey College with 18 players on the list. Grey College need no real introduction, but a school who has tasted defeat only once in the last 5 years and who have a historical winning percentage close to 90% is always going to have numerous old boys playing around the world. Famous names you will recognise include Bismarck du Plessis, Johan Goosen and Ruan Pino, among others. And tied with Grey in 1st place with 18 players is one of the only schools on the planet that could perhaps hold a candle to the prestige that Grey has in terms of its rugby. A name known by many, that school is the famed BLACKROCK College from Ireland. While grey have dominated South African rugby, BLACKROCK have been the dominant force historically in Ireland, with most Irishmen insisting the school could take on Grey College any day of the week. Competing in what many say is far and away the most difficult competition in Ireland, it speaks volumes to the quality the school possesses that they have won the Leinster School Senior Cup an unprecedented 69 times. For perspective, their closest competitors are Belvedere with only 12 trophies. Old Rockmen you will see take part in this year's URC include Caelan Doris, Gary Ringrose and Hugo Keenan. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Who do you feel will be the schools we will likely see on this list as the competition continues? Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as smash the like. Have a fantastic week further. Cheers. Bye.